Dude, I got a haircut from a barber yesterday. I'm not shitting you. It was probably the longest haircut I have ever had in my life. I think it took 90 minutes for the haircut, which is pretty long for me because I kept thinking to myself, be like Aiden. So I kept asking questions to my barber. And then at a certain point, because I was, I guess, really engaging in the conversation, my barber just dead ass stopped cutting my hair. Like they just stopped to talk for like 10 minutes. I got them so engaged in the conversation, they were showing me videos of them dancing on their phone. Like we got deep into it. I learned a lot, to be honest. I learned a lot about what y'all know about West Coast swing. Any West Coast swingers in the building? Yeah, apparently my barber was a champion Lindy Hop dancer who pivoted to West Coast swing. Lost a lot of friends after the pivot to Lindy Hop though. What people don't understand is that Lindy Hop, although a smaller community, is considered the melee of dancing, has a little more respect. So when people switch from Lindy Hop to the larger ultimate West Coast swing, they get a little bit judged, right? Oh, are you chasing the money? Are you chasing the points? Are you just saying words now? You don't know shit about Jordan, bro. He goes to the fucking US Open every year and he crushes. You're not even gonna be there in Burbank. You wanna be niche, it's so sad. They call their, they have a word for friendlies or like casuals and they call it socials. If you go to a dance competition, like a West Coast swing dance competition, you have your competition dance, your comp match, and then when you just dance for fun, it's called a social. Anyway, that's what I learned in my 90-minute haircut. It was a boomer ass conversation. The guy was a boomer. The guy was 62 years old, but he's an all-star West Coast swinger and you would never get the points to get all-star. You know it's 60 points to get all-star post-COVID? You don't know shit about that. Why are you fucking coming at me right now? It is 60 points for all-star, bro. Your ass should be stuck in novice. No, he's not a swinger. No, he's not a swinger. He does West Coast swing. Never mind, guys. There's no point in talking about this shit. Oh, I fucking hate airline companies. This is a tired point, okay? Every influencer at one point has been so self-absorbed that when they lost their luggage, they tweeted out at fucking Delta like shit would happen, which every time I see, I think pathetic, except when Connor did it, I thought cool. And he's handsome. But I didn't realize just how dark and seedy the airline companies are. Let me regale you with a tale. I'm going on a trip with Nick. Me and Nick are doing a boys trip, okay? And I'm booking the tickets for the boys trip with Nick. Just the flight that I'm trying to book, it happens to be a red eye. I think the flight to New York from LA is like 6 hours maybe. And then there's also like the time difference and all that shit. So red eye kind of works out for us. And we're gonna have to sleep on this plane. And I looked at the business class seats because, you know, making a bit of money. I can buy a business class, I can get bougie. $4,000 a seat. Not worth it. That's not worth the money. That is just frankly not. That's a ridiculous amount of money. By the way, sorry, one way. Not worth it. Not worth it. That's absurd. That's absurd. That's too high. That's where you draw the line. That's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. So I say no. Your mic is doubling. Please fix it. I deadass think you just have 2 browser tabs open. But I want to sleep on this plane. And the flight that I have is kind of empty. When I look at the like the seats to pick, I'm telling you like 60% of this flight is empty. There's nobody on this fucking flight. So I was like, ooh, I have an idea. It was a devilish idea to be fair. But they have those middle rows where it's like 2 seats, 3 seats, 2 seats. And I was like, what if I just fucking get the 3 seats and I just sleep and lie down? This seems like a genius idea. I could even get a little bit greedy here and I could buy both the outside seats and leave the middle one open because almost no one's gonna sit in the middle class or the middle seat. And this is gonna be so much cheaper and I'll get a good night's sleep as opposed to doing it in business class. So I was like, fucking genius. I'm a genius. So I go to book this and I look it up beforehand. I don't know if it was true, but it's like, yes, you can book multiple seats as one individual. I looked it up. Apparently you're allowed to. So I go to book this. Every flight ticket was $400. Okay, $400. So I'm still, you know, I'm spending a bit of money here. So I initially go, you know what? I'm not going to take the risk. I'm just going to book 6 tickets. It'd be $2,400 as opposed to $8,000. We have saved some money. This will work. The flight cost when I change it from 1 person to 6 person jumps to $1,200 a ticket. And I'm confused because I looked at the amount of seats open and I'm like, how is that possible? How is that possible? How did it, every ticket's 1,200. How did that happen? What's going on? So I lower it to 5, still 1,200. 4, still 1,200. 3, and it's 400 a ticket. I'm like, okay, I buy 3 tickets. That is Nick's seats, done. I book for Nick, done. Then I'm on to me. And when I try to book 1, $400. When I try to book 2, $800 a ticket. When I try to book 3, $1,200 a ticket. So I'm like, I'm smarter. I'm smarter than the fucking airlines. I open up 3 incognito browsers on 3 different devices. I have my phone, my laptop, and my desktop. I literally fill in all my information. I have every single ticket ready to go. And I have every seat I want clicked. And it's like, you know, left, middle, right. And I genuinely go, I'm like, 1, 2, 3, and I click all of them, and it's this little spinning gear, and I see one go through, and I'm like, yes. The other 2, error. The price you were looking to pay for has changed. Unfortunately, we cannot confirm the ticket. You must rebook the ticket at new price, and it has new price, $800 a ticket. And I'm like, what? They fucking boomed my ass. I'm in the checkout. And they boomed me. Yeah, they apparently have this thing called fucking dynamic pricing where even though there are genuinely like 50 seats open on this flight, they're acting like I'm buying the last fucking ticket and squeezing it out of them. So what I did is I went for my old strat. I took the left seat and I took the right seat with my 4 tickets. The middle seat is open and I'm gonna pray. That's it. I got 4 seats and I'm gonna pray that shit works out. That's my current strategy. That flight is filling up, bro. Dude, who's gonna wanna sit in the middle? Worst case, absolute worst case, I lie down on their lap with their permission. Absolute worst case. I pick the middle seat. No, you don't. Nobody picks the middle seat. Do you know how I know nobody picks the middle seat? Because my second most used airline is Southwest Airlines. And do you know what every motherfucker on Southwest does? Because if you don't know Southwest, you don't pick your seats. First come, first serve. And it comes, you have to order yourself in line based off of your number. And when you walk on the plane, every motherfucker has taken every seat except, you guessed it, the middle. So you have to fucking ask everybody. This is what I do, by the way, when I fly Southwest. When I fly Southwest, I go to the first row available with the middle seat open. I go, can I sit there? And they always give me a shell-shocked look, as if I'm not a fucking insane person for walking to the back of the plane just so I can sit in a window seat for the 2-hour flight. What do I give a shit, bro? I'm going to Seattle. I'm going to be on my Steam Deck. I don't care if I'm in the middle. And guess what? I get both armrests because I'm in the middle. That's cool with me. Millionaire flying Southwest. Southwest, first off, rules. They have way more flights available at way more times. They're looking at you that way, not because you're asking for the middle, but because you're carrying a trash bag for your luggage. Okay. Wait, Southwest switched to assigned seating? When did this happen? I flew Southwest recently and they didn't have assigned seating. I'm talking as recently as like a few months ago. It was like very recent. They're rolling that out next year. Oh, damn, that's the fall of Southwest. That is the fucking fall of Southwest Airlines. No free bags either. Does that include trash bags?